Alright, here's another video I just started. Currently, it's actually stormy outside. There's a little bit of lightning and thunder, so I may be asking for it. Because if there's a power failure, then this print is done. So I've already started the print before the storm actually started, so I'm kind of locked in right now. But for those that are new to 3D printing, or even have been at 3D printing for some time, this is just a quick look at what the first couple of layers should look like. I started this print, like I say, a while back, probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. So it's already on, it's probably about maybe 3 layers up. But you can see this is what a first layer should look like. It should literally have a good clean skirt. As you see here, there's no brim, no raft, no messy ass glue stick, but you can see 3 distinct individual prints. We have 1, 2, 3, but this is basically what you should see. If you're doing a print, you should have a good clean shape by now. Again, for the first layer, it's going to build off of the first layer on up until it's done. There's several layers to this particular print, but I just wanted to show that if you're kind of confused about what people are telling you and it doesn't look anything like this, then I would do a little more research. I've been at this for about 4.5 years, so I know what to look for. I know that when a print starts out this well, it's going to finish, unless we have a power failure. But yeah, you can see on the border there going down, you can see the bright border, and you can, again, the tape is not just for adhesion, that's a given, okay? But what I use the tape for many other reasons, but you can kind of see right here, you can almost see through the tape, it's translucent. That's the purpose I use the tape for. As far as adhesion or forcing adhesion because of heating the bed and all of that, I don't do any of that. I try to do stuff that for me works and is not overly complicating the print process. But if you go over here, you can see my bed isn't heated. My set point is 0. That's a 0 set point. And for those that have a 3D printer, you know that the bed is not being heated. You can see the nozzles at 212, and the little indicator goes on and off. You can see there. But just so that you know, this is printing right now. I mean, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not half covering it while it's printing. This is what you see. This is what's going down now. And again, there's nothing complicated about 3D printing. The printer will do fine without user interference. And when I say that, what that means is don't add a bunch of so-called upgrades, updates, up this, up that. Just leave the printer, if it's an ENDER 3 or an ENDER 3 Pro, just leave it as it was designed from the factory. Nothing about what you see here has been modified. We have the original hot end, right? We have the original white Bowden tube. This is the filament delivery setup. This is how it gets filament from here to a moving head. The head moves constantly on the x-axis all the time. The Y moves on the y-axis all the time. So an extruder is right here. This is the plastic original extruder that came with the printer 4 years ago. Every day I print, all the time. I've never had an issue that other people seem to have with the aftermarket metal one. They seem to constantly have issues all the time, and they tend to say, well, you know, it was told to me on the internet, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, to change that out the first thing. Honestly, for me, that's bullshit. Keep the original body if you have to. Keep the plastic body. There's nothing wrong with that. The arm, if you do have an issue with the extruder arm, the lever right there, and you have a problem with it, just replace the arm. It's like $3, 5 minutes, and you're back to printing for who knows how long. You can't even say how long you're going to continue to print. They say, oh, you're going to have problems with it. It's a time bomb. Again, BS. All right? My filament is mounted here on the side, not up here. The reason there's problems with it printing up there because the filament wants to bend and go into the extruder, causing friction. to overcome that, I just moved the damn roll down here. People say, oh, you got to print arms and levers and gizmos and gadgets to redirect the filament. Again, like I said before, just move the filament holder to the side, and you have all of this space. So between the time the gantry gets to the arm right here, the holder. I know from start of the printed, I know how far this gantry is going to go up. I already know it from the slicer, okay? So if indeed you set this high enough to where this doesn't even come close, you'll be okay. And look, the filament just goes right into the extruder. No arms or levers or gizmos. You don't see any of that crap here, okay? Which also causes friction. So this is a straight shot into the extruder. That's your A. Your B is the filament delivery from the extruder to the hot end, and C is through the hot end down to the table. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, a 3D printing. This is the basics that you need. This is it. You don't need an electronic gizmo here because you say, oh, I've got a bed that's not level or it's got highs and lows. To avoid that, just use a flat mirror. This is mirror. It's flat from the factory. As long as this is flat all the way across, all the way around, then the electronic gizmo is useless. You don't even need it. Don't put it on there. You don't have to change anything. Leave the Z switch where it belongs, where it's supposed to be for auto home. Leave the switch that's on the X-axis, leave that alone. Use the Y-axis switch right there. Just leave it alone. X, Y, Z. Okay? So don't overcomplicate the 3D printer. Don't even change the springs because someone says, well, you're going to have problems with leveling, so you got to change it to the yellow springs. Again, look, I mean, I'm going to say BS because right now it's the original springs. All my printers have everything's original because it works. It was designed to work from the factory. If you don't give it a chance, if you don't assemble it properly, you will have problems. But that isn't because of the design of the printer, it's because of user error. You don't want to deal with user error because troubleshooting is a problem. If you start changing things because someone told you that would be the best thing to do, again, look what you see here. I'm only showing you what I'm printing with right now. This is it. So you can literally set the printer, make sure the first couple of layers are good because that would be user error. If it's not, that would be a user problem, not a machine problem. Once your machine is properly assembled, ABC, from factory specifications, this is how it's going to function. It has to. It has no choice but to print properly. So don't interject user problems, user error, user changes. Don't do that. You can see right here, none of this has been changed. Okay, I mean, enough of my preaching. I just wanted to show the facts. These are the facts as you see them right now. Don't take my word for anything. Don't go to YouTube or take their word. Don't go to Facebook or take their word. Just do what works, okay? This works. And again, no messy ass glue stick, no raft, no brim, no heat, not necessary. This is proof. You can see it right now. All right, thanks for watching.